ഇന്നത്തെ മാച്ച് എന്തായാലും മിസ് ചെയ്യരുത്, മൊത്തം കാണണം.
ഇന്നത്തെ മാച്ച് ഒരു മാച്ച് മിസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല. അമ്മാര് കളി
അപ്പൊ ലോബി അതാണ് എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടെ. ടീം മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ.
It's looking so good. I can't wait for this next game. The way these last two games have been going, for IC, I need to see that more.
രണ്ട് കളി അത്യാവശ്യം നല്ല കളി കളിച്ചു.
Yeah, we need to see that aggression big time. You know, we saw
the
one match of Erangel today, Max, man, you know. We noticed that APG was going up to Stallberg, picking up that secondary location. And I love to see that. I think that change is huge for them. I hope it's something that they've had in their bag for a while now, because they definitely look prepared going into this game. Now, we did have that circle. Right, go on down to Gatka. We saw Wolves, you know, land in Gatka. We saw Falcons land there, that area. They weren't able to have a good game here. This lobby so different than what we saw from the Gauntlet stage. You know, when it comes to these different drops that we saw into Erangel, Max, you know, what was the big team that stood out to you?
Really, hot drop wise, nothing.
Yeah, no hot drop wise for sure.
If I want to talk about one drop that did intrigue me is Orangutan, because we know normally they were going to have a hot drop in Rozok in the Gauntlet stage. They gave it up to go for Shelter instead as their secondary drop location. Also, Saverni up north every once in a while, depending on the playing path. But no, this time they went for Rozok, and this is Orangutan then. That means on Erangel, Hot Jukes able to play their peak performance, bringing their A game to the table, because that is what they've been playing during BMIC, during BMSD. This is the drop location they've trained for so damn long, and they can finally use that to really use their rotation to its full potential. So I think Orangutan, they're going to be feeling very comfortable now going into every single one of these Erangel matches.
Yeah, one thing's for sure when it comes to OG, right, is that we know that they're so solid when it comes to rotation. One thing they struggled with, though, right, is being able to flick on that aggression switch. And we heard from Valak. We've been seeing that nothing from these squads. Let's go into one more match at Erangel with Blank and John Allen.
It's time for another Erangel edition as we head on in from Stalva down to Sosnovka Military Island on the plane path. Blank, things are keeping temperature hot here. That final close down from 9Z took it all away from Alter Ego, who did show a little bit too much boldness on their peaks.
They did. I think, again, it's one of those things where you look at it, and I think Alter Ego up until that point looked pretty good. But closing games out is a completely separate skill set to the prep that goes into getting towards that end game. I was very, very impressed with Alter Ego up at that point as well, which is why I was quite to see them fumble that. Again, you can only basically snatch away.
It's a nice little turn up for the table, certainly, for 9Z. Going. Are we going to get a hot drop? No, okay. Genji not going to go down towards C block. It looks like it's just going to be APG down on military. Maybe up in Saverni could be some argy-bargy as Team Secret. GS. Maybe a vehicle contest going on there. Have to wait and see. Looks like everybody else is fairly well extricated for the time being anyway, because we're going back to Gatka on the circles.
Back over to the fields. I don't think really anyone enjoys this. But I think the bigger issue here is the eastern plane path off the back of this one. Does cause quite a few issues in terms of the rotates off towards that western side, because typically with a field finish like this, there's not a massive amount of critical compounds that can be taken. So if you're starting on the east side of the map anyway, anyone who gets fairly center at the start of this game is going to have a big advantage. So we're looking at Gen G, we're looking at Falcons, even potentially APG starting in mid base, they can get out quickly. But again, this is going to require APG to be a little bit quicker on the ball of leaving from Sosnovka. They'll understand to do that. I hope they'll understand to do that with an eastern plane path. Like, they have a big advantage here to get towards a more prominent position inside the circle. I think maybe they're slightly worried about a bridge camp, but again, I think Gen G go their own preoccupied and also take a position within the center of this map.
All got. APG കളി മാറ്റിയാണ്ടാ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു APG ഈ റൗണ്ട് വരുമ്പോൾ APGയുടെ കളി മാറും.
Nobody went to that compound on the north side, so maybe someone will take it up this time. Still teams very much in the looting phase as we enter our going into our fourth minute, just about ticking over into, here we go, 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
Hello, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ കേൾക്കാമോ?
And yeah, nobody really making big moves right now. Not too much trouble on the north side. It looks like, yeah, teams North George.
ഇതില് ടോപ്പ് 4 അല്ലേ ക്വാളിഫൈ ആവണം.
They grabbed the vehicles and headed away. Actually,
ടോപ്പ് 3 ക്വാളിഫൈ ആവണം. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് നോക്കണ്ട കേട്ടാ.
ടോപ്പ് 3 ഗ്രാൻഡ് ഫൈനൽസ്.
അപ്പോൾ ഇത് നോക്കണ്ട.
ലൂസേഴ്സ് ഫൈനൽ കളിക്കും. 12 തൊട്ട്
അതിന്ന് രണ്ടുപേരെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ ലാസ്റ്റ് ചാൻസ്.
They can completely surround this area now, which
is ഇവർക്ക് സ്ലോട്ട് ഉണ്ട് VP ഹോസ്റ്റ് കൺട്രീനെ വരില്ല.
should be able to get a decent rotate from the top side of Rozhok down. Like I say, for teams
അതാണ് നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞ മറ്റേ ടീം
വേറെ ട്വിസ്റ്റ് എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയാമോ? നമുക്ക് ഇന്ത്യക്ക് ഇതുപോലെ ഹോസ്റ്റ് ഷോട്ട് കിട്ടും. ഇന്ത്യ വെച്ച് പറയാൻ നടത്താൻ പറ്റും.
Quite a few sight lines.
അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഉറപ്പായിട്ട് ഇന്ത്യക്ക് സ്ലോട്ട് വീണേ.
In a circle though, they are definitely.
അതെങ്ങനെ ഇത് വിന്റേജ് നടത്താ അത് മറ്റേ ഇതായോണ്ടാ.
I think a lot of people are starting
Full
to play
PUBG ആയോണ്ടാ.
actually split a lot more of around Stalber as well.
ഇതിന്റെ കമന്റ് ബോക്സ് തുറക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല കേട്ടാ.
A lot of decent passes.
Chinese team up, anti team up.
Not that really stopped them last game though, to be honest.
ജാങ്കോ അന്ന് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞില്ല മറ്റേ കൊടി ഇല്ലാണ്ട് വേറെ വെച്ചാൽ എന്തിനാണ് സംഭവം അറിയാമോ?
Almost do the
അതാ മുമ്പ് എന്തോ അടിച്ചതിന്റെ അല്ലേ?
That was pretty crazy stuff. I mean, talking about that commercially split though, I do think that
ഈ മറ്റേ ഈ ഗോട്ടിന് കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്നത് സെൻട്രൽ ഏഷ്യയിലെ ടോപ്പ് ടീം അങ്ങനെ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഗോട്ടിന് കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്നത്. ഫാൽക്കൻസ് കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്നത് സൗത്ത് അമേരിക്ക അങ്ങനെ എന്തോ സംഭവത്തിന്റെ ഫാൽക്കൻസ്. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള എല്ലാ റീജിയനിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ടോപ്പ് ടീംസിനെ എടുക്കും. അതിനകത്ത് ഏതെങ്കിലും ടോപ്പ് ടീം ക്വാളിഫൈ ആയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ തൊട്ട് താഴെ കിടന്ന ടീംസിനെ കൊടുക്കും പോയിന്റ് വെച്ച്.
They're playing it slow. They just want some more loot from these buildings. Done a little stop off and grab. There's no rush, not at the moment. They know they're going to be at the back of the queue, kind of anyway. So it's not ideal to overcommit to going fast. When you know that it's really not going to pay off. It's very unlikely that teams are moving ahead of you anyway.
അയ്യോ
അതാണ് നിങ്ങൾ പറയേണ്ടത്. A little bit more so towards that position of the map. There's a lot easier positions, you know, from Milta, Western Shelter, even Yasnaya to make a split off and actually try and catch out one or two players playing around Mansion or Heaven, trying to watch and guard out from the Plovka. Yeah, that doesn't really happen. Is that something that Alter Ego probably have to watch out for a little bit more? Most teams have started to make their way over towards the west now, though. Wolves getting in nice and early. Wolves realise that they need to get a bit of a move on. Currently in 3 points in 13th. Very ideal, especially for a team that started in the gauntlet. This doesn't look promising. Still only 2 matches. There is still time. But when you've got teams like 9Z as well as IC currently on almost 40 points apiece after 2 matches, you know, those top 3 spots are starting to look pretty unattainable.
Yeah, it's not super friendly right now. It's still very much early days. We are only in to match number 3, Blank. We've only seen 2 games go on the belt. A lot of those points for Inner Circle specifically were earned in 1 match. The same is true for 9Z as well. It is just sort of one big match, top of the tables right now. We'll see who can keep up the pace. They move in. They're making their rotate near Falcons, near D+, but both of those teams are on outposts. They're on 2-2 splits or don't have a full lineup to go for it immediately, and they're not taking shots out that way just yet either.
No reason to right now. You're kind of waiting for zone 2 anyway. There's a minute left on the next shift. A lot of teams at this point in time, not advisable to be looking for engagements. Kind of waiting for that big migrate on zone 2, and then you can start looking for fights to try and break position on the map. APG though, they kind of did what I said. It took it slightly longer, but it didn't really matter all that much. They're already towards a pretty fantastic spot on the map right now. I think Doc does have an eye in over towards OG currently. And I think
taking shots.
The side.
Yeah, they're looking to try and suppress that position. They're taking shots over towards the reject. We're taking shots over towards OG as well. And they did have to stop off. They're poking their noses towards that APG Southside compound, though. So maybe looking to cause trouble.
Get a good view of the map here.
split
Pottery got a little bit slower to this one, but they can dive very easily over towards Pattaya Hill and then towards the northwest. Around Everest, though, we're pretty much going towards a similar location. For APG, it's somewhat unfortunate for the early central start. They have a fair way to move. GS, though, quite happy.
Yeah, they'll be able to move into that north side. The major feature, the major point of interest that is in this circle that really wasn't in the last one is ruins. That ruins area to the east of Everest is going to be, I'm sure, where GS are going to at least look to try and go. Some of the buildings around the area seems to try and filter through. 9Z as well. Maybe they'll be able to get on over there. They're going for their classic. Let's just go over the top and see what we can find their position. This south edge, though, across the fields, is going to get brutal. And Gen G eat first blood. There's claws to go down.
Yeah, the wide wrap Kings in 9Z, it's been working out all right, to be honest. GS, though, like you said, did stop off over towards Castle and Ruins. Decent spots to play in going forward. Again, leaving Ruins is a little bit awkward, so I actually quite like OG's position, which is just east of Everest there, picking up the compounds in that area. I think you might have teams wanting to try and challenge for that spot at some point, but for the time being, I think most players are quite comfortable in their current positions. This is going to be a little bit more of a slow game. Also, OG flexing out towards top of Everest, trying to get some high ground control as well. Okay.
All right. You want to get oversight? Fair enough. I mean, Everest, big feature in this zone. Alter Ego were playing towards it before, not fully on the top of it. It's a little bit more central this time around, and maybe we'll play well loops on the road. Alter Ego sending in towards some of those roads positions. Two, they've already lost Alva. That's a flush from Falak.
Yeah, well played. I mean, he's flexed out from the rest of the squad. Just finds a quick pick off, and we'll pick up the flush off the back of it as well. The guy is insane. Actually insane. Yeah, I think a lot of people understand why. Usually say that top 3 favorite 0 point disqualified. I think he was really impressed me on his off-field plays in the past and was one of the best to do it. And now again, showing off just how strong he can be here in the biggest international tournament of the year.
What a time to do it as well. Looking really
ഫെഡറലോ അങ്ങനെ എന്തോ പറഞ്ഞ കളിക്കണ്ട ഈ ക്യാരിലോ ഇല്ലേ ആൽഫാ സെവനി കളിക്കുന്നു അവനൊക്കെ ആദ്യം ലൂപ്സിലായിരുന്നു ഇവന്മാര് പുറത്തായ എന്തിനെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ PMGCയുടെ ഗ്രാൻഡ് ഫൈനൽസ് റൗണ്ട് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോഴത്തേന് അല്ല ഗ്രാൻഡ് ഫൈനൽസ് ഇതുപോലെ ഗോളിലൊക്കെ എന്തോ ക്വാളിഫയർ റൗണ്ടിൽ ഇവന്മാര് ക്വാളിഫൈ ആയിട്ട് എപ്പോഴും വന്ന് നമ്മളെ കോച്ചിങ് ചർച്ച ഉണ്ടല്ലോ ചർച്ചയിൽ കയറി നാലെണ്ണോടെ കുത്തി ഇരുന്നിട്ട് എക്സിറ്റ്
APG in their compound ended up being a pretty
convincing
winning compound in the last one. They'll take up occupation there.
I like that. They spectate the game like, what can we do differently? Pick the open compound, perhaps. And so they're close to it now, so they just go for it. Understanding that it seems to not really be in the progress of a lot of other teams' routes in towards the circle there. So Wolves, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It is slightly on the western side, quite close to the edge of the circle, which is a bit worrisome. But it's playable. It's definitely playable towards the end game. Goats finding Patino from loops. Yeah, getting the same circle again is a weird one, right, John? Where you kind of make some adjustments to your last game, maybe patch up some holes in your play style.
I mean, it is absolutely, and given that teams were sort of in all drop spots as well, it's got to play out maybe fairly similarly. But Falak's bad news for Inner Circle fans. Looks like they are going to rally the troops though, and it's just Krypton close by. Could potentially be more trouble around the corner, but at the moment T24 destroying attention. They're going to be able to get this res. Rosemary moving into position though. There's an off angle. He looks for it, and Snape gets the spray down as well. 2 players from Alter Ego able to line up the shots, and now Inner Circle have lost another player. This is a good little pickup for Alter Ego, working the ground around them.
I mean, they're a little bit damaged to the 4v4 with them and Reject.
Yeah,
and it is
but
going
comment box
swimmingly well, as Reject will hit the deck. Wolves retain all 4 players up, and that is a convincing shot. In the meantime, Inner Circle are just getting battered and bruised by Alter Ego. Not happy with them taking down one of their players earlier in Alva.
They will do a hell of a lot more in response. T24 did manage to get away from Inner Circle, so Solo on the north side playing on. Wolves held the compound against Reject. We saw that push coming through, that crash from Reject. T24 their way. And what that meant is that GOAT could not third party. OG couldn't extract elimination points. Both of those 2 teams playing up towards Everest, which is really good news for the Wolves. It means that it's much less likely that they're going to get third party. Yeah, exactly, and that is a big thing when it comes to big crashes, because we saw it even on that first game of the day, is where Papa Supermassive just could not hold on the north side of Rondo, because they dealt with the first 2 crashes, but if teams keep coming, big shift towards the north side, keeps Everest in, damn, goodness me, but APG get a central circle, and Prank no more. And that will sit APG at 2 eliminations, and they are looking to secure a position in that top 3 at the end of this game. I mean, this game Jango. Exactly the same. Exactly the same finishes. Maybe a couple more teams on that north side, and then lining that Everest side as well, which was, as you were talking about before, a bit of a major feature of that last game, right? That lot of teams playing that area. That's a little bit more spread out here. So that's going to be the pace difference in this match. See what can get done. OG still lining the top of Everest with Papa Supermassive trying to move in, but with APG down beneath them, taking shots with OG up the top. Don't imagine that's going to be super successful. Snave just stood on top of Nepal. Get down off there. It goes in, won't find any damage. But for Alter Ego, it looks like it's starting to come to a little bit of a close here for them. I think it's just fully committed to the format hold. Ooh, the nade. Keeps it on going. Does go down. Chips has an off angle. There's someone across the way, but Krypton finds the inside of the just juking him out right now. Osal hopping in with the auto shotty. The healing's there. He's looking for boxes. The spin around. He got the heal off as well. Chips now on the inside. D+ have a nightmare sent their way, and GS can close them down here and now. In that moment, love to see it. The fact he's able to jump out there in time and then quickly get in cover and get the first aid off. I think D+ is expecting that kind of resilience from Solo. They get out, but they've also got other concerns, getting into the circle. We're playing, hoping to take control back again of a position they APG's nades.
Champion.
Champion.
This is PMGC championship. Gauntlet sale like their
position is going to get weaker and weaker as fights around them conclude. They need to stop pushing in.
Coming
through from APG.
I think the first one was fine, you know, just on the off chance you're able to hit something. What is Bond doing? Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know. Solo, that'd be the great place to try and the games that were the most contested areas of the map.
In the
meantime, though, Wolves flex out of their compound. They push up Everest. They crunch Goat in between them and OG. A lot of damage inflicted by Coops towards Goat, and it is going to leave Goat down now on 2 players. The job is done. Wolves back down to the south. They know that with the sun shifting up north, their compound is going to be in prime time. Look at the Falcons.
ഇവനല്ലടാ ഇവനല്ല കില്ല് കിട്ടിയ മറ്റേ AEക്കാണ് നേരത്തെ കില്ല് കിട്ടിയത് അപ്പുറത്തെ കോമ്പൗണ്ടിൽ AE ആണ് അവനെ അടിച്ചത് സ്കോഡ് ആ വിൻഡോയിൽ കൂടി
അല്ല പക്ഷേ ട്രെൻഡ് അത് കണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഈ ഓജി നിന്ന് അപ്പുറത്ത് പോകുമ്പോഴില്ല അമ്മക്ക് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് പുഷ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഇന്റൻഷൻ എന്തായിരുന്നു ഫസ്റ്റ് നോക്കിട്ടത് D+G ആണ് പക്ഷേ ഞാനാണ് നോക്കി എന്നിട്ട് എങ്ങനെ കേറി എന്നിട്ട് ചിലപ്പോ ഇവന്മാര് നമ്മള് പറയണ മറ്റേ കമന്റ് ബോക്സിൽ അതേണൊക്കെ പറയണല്ലോ ഒളിച്ച് കളിക്കണ പുഷ് ചെയ്യില്ല അതിങ്ങനെ കയറിയിരിക്കും കേട്ടാ ടിയാനാ
I think that's Tiamba out. Yes,
no,
behind him. Nice and polite, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Falcons and GS though are clashing heavily on this hilltop. At the moment, it's going both ways and taking knocks. And Falcons finally finding an advantage, but in rolls it's a tanky taking the shot. Are the Falcons still alive? For the blue zone here. Desperately trying to heal it. Can't get it done. The bandage is not fast enough.
Fight
from a tanky.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Is that flex out towards the eastern side? It's the obvious choice. That clears a massive space. Finally, top is able
അടിച്ചതില്ല അവനല്ലേ മറ്റേ GS വണ്ടി പോയാലും അടിച്ചത് ഫാൽക്കൻസിൽ ആരും അടിച്ചില്ലല്ലോ അവൻ
Genji.
മറ്റേ GS
അല്ല ഫാൽക്കന്റെ സോൺ 3 കില്ല് കിട്ടുമെന്ന് കേട്ടോ അത് കിട്ടും
പിന്നെ കിട്ടാണ്ട് അവന്മാര് നോക്കിട്ട്
long lobbing distance.
Very ambitious. I like the spirit. You know? Unfortunately, that's not what counts.
ഈ കളി സോൺ ഉണ്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് റോണ്ടോ മാപ്പ് കിട്ടില്ല കളിയായിരുന്നു പക്ഷെ അത് അവന്മാർ കൊണ്ട് കളഞ്ഞതാണ് അത് ഞാൻ കാണിച്ചുതരാം ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് കാണിച്ചുതരാം ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ മാച്ചിനെ പറ്റി ഡിസ്കഷൻ പക്ഷെ APG കളിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് ടോണി
Just goes a little bit long. They're not quite sinking them down. That will be a Genji. Maybe now they should have had the nades. Unfortunately, not. The nades keep sinking in. The heels coming through.
ഓജി സെന്ററിന്മാരെ അങ്ങോട്ട് വലിഞ്ഞേട്ടാ അപ്പർ സൈഡിലോട്ട് അവന്മാര് സെന്ററാണ് ഇതിപ്പോ ആരുവിന്റെ അടുത്ത് വരണമല്ലോ
to get the air burst on where Team Secret's playing, you have to lob the grenade down. The only way you can do that is with a smoke, then you're throwing the nade blinds, you have to kind of hope for it. And if you don't use the smoke, then Wolves have the angle from the western side. So Team Secret actually it's difficult for APG to remove them, and now because they're close towards the center, APG has a big
He's peaked immediately is humbled on the peak. Doesn't go down though, which could be crucial. Go on a mad crash. Let's see if they can cling on, if the hooves have got enough grip to make it somewhere, to anywhere that they can find. They've got to they've got to a rockle too. Maybe they'll stay for just a moment longer. This fight in the compound just doesn't seem to want to conclude. Nice. To fully isolate. That's the need they were looking for. Going to go for third as well. That's the off angle coming in, and it will be devastating for them. A fourth nade, maybe they'll find it. If this does go down, Doc should be on picking that one up. That nade's going to go wide. Just one player now left standing. Seal spots him. The off angles do too. I mean, it's
Blanky's picking up points from the back. It's not an easy nade to throw for Zio. It really does quite.
Elimination.
Right.
ഇത് എപ്പോഴത്തെ കളി? ഇത് അടിച്ചു പോയി.
ലൈവ് അല്ലേ കാണുന്നേ?
അല്ല, ഞങ്ങള് ജാങ്കോടെ ലൈവ്. ജാങ്കോ ബാക്ക് ഇറങ്ങുന്നില്ല.
ഇതെന്താ സ്റ്റക്കായി വരണ
ടൂജി ആയി ജാങ്കോതിന്റെ ചുറ്റും അതിന് കളി കണ്ടൊരു മൂർത്തന്നെ അവസ്ഥ വരുമ്പോ കൂടിയില്ല പറയും.
ഓക്കെ ഗൈസ്, നിങ്ങള് മറ്റേത് കണ്ടോ? ഇതെല്ലാം അടിച്ചു പോയി.
വോൾഫ് ടോപ്പ് കയറി. സോണോട്ടെ കുറച്ചേരം കൊണ്ട് ഇതാ കിട്ടും.
ഈകളൊന്ന് ക്രൈമർ ചെയ്യോ?
എനിക്ക് ചേരത്തില്ലടാ. പണി എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ DK ഉണ്ടല്ലോ ബാക്കില്. അവൻ നല്ല അവൻ സോണില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് അടിക്കത്തില്ല.
For OG, they're already splitting though quite early.
Anchor
in AKOP down the hillside. Chips is attempting to get as many points as possible off the back of this one, but it has been a little bit odd watching the aggression isn't there. They feel fairly weak in these team fights, which is so strange compared to the performance we've seen from them in the past. So yeah, I think D Plus needs to find their footing once again, because the moment this isn't going to cut it. With the majority of the land mass in this one, APG have to move north. Maybe D Plus make it to third on this solo position with Chips. I mean, this is kind of, in my mind, this is the big question.
Trigger management,
this is probably the 5th time the was in this game. Positioning in it. We've seen these times of circle shifts before for OG, and I think it's closing the match, which is still the thing that they are struggling to do here. You can't let that happen as well. The solo position coming through from that's going to split and really diminish this position for OG. Aru kind of isolated up the top there. Needs to hold the vehicle, drop a smoke, get some acceleration on the way down. But where do you go from there? You got to get into nade range or everything else. APG flexing out. Look at top. He's going around the edge, and it's going to be all up to AKOP down on the low ground to stay alive. Nice shot from Chips. Immediate response over towards top. I think there was a little bit of assistance coming through. And that's the... Again, they know that Chips is here.
That's
crazy that Chips is
Yeah.
He's been allowed so much freedom on this one. Taking down top as well. I mean, that slow position now behind a tree is completely known. He's trying to drop these smokes and get a little bit safer. I don't think such a place exists.
For APG, I think this is a win. It should be a win, right? But Wolves are able to take the fight to APG, massive for them. But Wolves, it will certainly put some confidence back in them, which I think they're absolutely lacking at the moment. I think that there's a lot of times where Wolves are even second-guessing their own decisions that they make in these games, where two players will have a very different plan for one another. But this game feels a lot better in terms of that so far. And I do think that the success they found from that mid-game has really helped them. But Doc already finding that angle over towards Igor is pretty bad news. 12 elims so far for APG, and Nate down the hillside to confirm this knock over towards Chips. He just about jumps out the way. Doc? Hello?
The nade is long. Oh dear. Doc moves out as well. Chips finally goes down. It's Batten to be able to find that. So that is solidified. APG forwards a little bit with their off angles. This is a straight up 3v4 between these two teams. They were able to find one of the Wolves earlier.
That's stylish. A little reverse.
Absolutely. Getting the tire blown out doesn't mean you can't look good.
Orangutane pettiyaanengil makkala ningal tappundavum.
He's going to slide into safety. Slide into home base. The Wolves now flexing back now. Trying to get a north side position. Remember, it closes dead center on this circle. And APG are going to move up to the ridge lines. This divot that sits in front of the Wolves. APG can't go full for it. 14 nades on side for the Wolves. They've got a lot of utility. And APG, they need to place that one nade perfectly.
For APG,
Oh, Macamark entry.
I think they expanded a lot of them over towards Team Secret earlier. Good shots over towards Wolves now have all been slammed into the same position. Top has all the angles that he might like. And Wolves again is just, I think they're trying to find safety in numbers, but what they need here is angles over towards APG, and they're unwilling to go for them. Baton just exposes himself there. Zol's immediately stepping up. Now just 2 players remaining. Coops would need 2 massive nades to finish from now. And it's definitely, it should be a 16 elim game here coming through for APG, barring some craziness from the Wolves.
You would think so. They get that flush. They're up to 14. Grouped up a little bit, and there's still a couple of nades left. They're all being unleashed now, though. None of them really connecting.
Whoa!
Bounce around the side. Just steps out in time. Doc just about in cover. He knows nades. He knows what's going on there. And there go the Molotovs utility. Zion stepped up and does get taken down. Coops needs to commit to the heel right now. And there's no nades in response. There's still... No, they don't have any. It's only 1 nade on the Wolves' back pocket. That gets it forward towards top. Goes long. Coops forced into the trade. And from the high ground will not be needed. The backup not there. Thorin behind the tree will get burnt away. And APG, I don't know if they will steal him. Around. It is a different team that we're seeing from the Gauntlets who've stepped into Group Green.
First match review.
Both not surprised.
First match is good match. I like that. I still want the match.
But
ഒരുപാടൊന്നും ഫ്രണ്ടി പോണ്ടാ.
അല്ല ഇവിടെയൊക്കെയാണ് ഓജി ഇപ്പൊ ഞേട്ടാണ്.
ഓജിയുടെ പറയുന്നത്
4 ഇല്ലുണ്ട് ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ. ഇവന്മാരെ അടിക്കാത്തതിലാണ് എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഒരുമാതിരിയായി പോയി ഗോട്ടിന്. സുഖമായിട്ട് തൂക്കാനുള്ള ടീമാണേ. ഇപ്പൊ നോക്ക് ഓരോ നോക്ക് പോണോ.
ഒരുത്തം വേണ്ടിട്ട് ഇറക്കാൻ 4 കില്ല് കിട്ടിയത്.
അല്ല ഇവന്മാര് നീടിട്ട് നോക്കാവണം. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞാ അത് കണ്ടായിരുന്ന ടോണി. അതൊന്ന് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കട്ടെ
കുറച്ച്
ഇവന്മാർക്ക് 30 പോയിന്റ് ഉണ്ട്. 27 പോയിന്റ് ഇവന്മാര് കണ്ടമാർ.
Rosemary's up, he's immediately back down. Alva still alive, just about on the last lifeline here as the flush is coming through on his team. Alva still playing around the smoke. Supermassive, but surely they find him. But it's a loop around the smoke. Seemingly ethereal to Bapper Supermassive, but surely they find him. But it's a little bit of a game of cat and mouse there, but finally the snapper shot of the trap is good and Alva falls.
I think Lost was as confused as we were watching Alva crawl his way out from the smoke. But still able to finish off Team Secret.
ഞാൻ റോണ്ടയിൽ അടുത്തളി 50 മില്ല് എടുക്കേണ്ടി ഒരു കളി.
Alter ego there.
50 മില്ലും
from that north
side. തോക്ക് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നെ കൊണ്ട് പറ്റുന്നില്ല.
അല്ല നീ കുഴിയിട്ട് കളിക്കുന്നു.
Now
ദാണ്ട ഒന്ന് നീ വീഴുന്നു തോന്നുന്നു അല്ലേ. കണ്ട 2 നോക്ക് ലാസ്റ്റ് മാനാണേ. അതിലാണ് പോണത്. ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ അവിടെ കവർ വെച്ചിട്ട് എടുത്തിട്ട് കറക്കിയായിരുന്നു എടുക്കാനേ.
And these reses needed to come through. Might have found something, but the bounce just.
അവന്മാരെ സോണിക്കാരൻ വണ്ടിയിലൊന്നുമില്ലേ കണ്ടോണ്ടോ.
To try and stay alive. I don't know if they can even last nade into the skies. Long enough though. The bounce. That deployment keeps them safe just a moment longer.
mean, some very, very good shots. I mean, Wiz got on the other side, taking down Tiamba. A-King's able to find the last player there from GS, but OG having quite a bit of control from this high ground. They are making quite a few enemies, though, in the process, and they will have to descend from here soon.
ഓജയ്ക്ക് ഇനിയും കില്ലുകൾ കിട്ടിയാണ് ഈ റോണ്ട മാച്ച് ഒരുപാട്
സത്യം കിട്ടില്ല സോണായിരുന്നു അവര്
അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് ഉള്ള പൊസിഷനിൽ കുറെ കില്ല് വെറുതെ
smokes, what vehicles they have to work with. It could be quite a swift push down the hill.
Certainly could be. Chance to tumble on down.
ഇവന്മാര് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് അറിയാൻ അടുത്ത കമ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്തേ.
Felt like under pressure now from the high ground as well. OG looking to try and make inroads now. Next circle comes through its
അത്
south
OGക്ക്
side
ഉണ്ട്
a little
ദാണ്ടെ.
bit, which means Papra Supermassive have to conclude their fight on the
അല്ല കുറച്ചുണ്ട്.
have got a 1-for-1 trade right now on the nose. Coutinho not finding
കളയണതാണ് ഞാൻ പറയണത്.
continue to tumble down. Rafinha has one more in the pocket, but they're not connecting on the already. Just short of Kamikaze. He sidesteps it there. Papra Supermassive. 10 eliminations now as they look for the flushes. Loops. That weakness as Ratto Boy himself is down. Step up for the fight. A shotgun around the tree trunk, but it will be good for only one because Kamikaze still hot. Flies on in the back lines. Brilliant. Kamikaze brutal as ever.
ഇവൻ ടർക്കി ടീമാണ് കാര.
അല്ല
ചൈന ടർക്കിയാണ് ടർക്കിയല്ലേ SUP ആ കാര.
To be fair, this is like not even their best match. Play it really slow. I think they're one of the few teams that doesn't go for they play slow towards the end game and just much prefer party tactic. I really like it. Line up here. It is free pickings here for OG and Williams across the way. Unfortunately, it's a shot that comes back though.
There's plenty of off angles taking a look out this way, and they didn't have enough pressure to keep this spraying. They
അല്ല അതേസമയം അവിടെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യണമായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ അടിച്ചാടി AKP അടിച്ചപ്പോ അടിക്കണം.
Outside, force them into a bad position because it's only the one player. Across the way, keep OG safe.
Yeah, that's rough. There is some horrible angles on that high ground. It felt like Goat was winning that fight versus OG as well. The third party does come through.
Winning with
put an end to that.
They
have finally met their match here. They've been going from fight to fight. Now it's 9ZG. Kamikaze's down. As left alive here, and he's getting shot from multiple angles. Papra Supermassive will go down in 6th. Start to their day.
15 points total, but now 9Z have started to rack up these tallies. Inner circle, 12 elims found for 9Z, and in inner circle, they got 10 already.
നമ്മളടുത്ത് വൈവയ്ക്കൊക്കെ പബ്ജി കാര്യങ്ങൾ
റീല് കണ്ട് അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ ഉള്ളത് റീല് അങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടായാലും ഇൻട്രൻഡ് നമ്മള് ചെറുതായിട്ട് മൂഞ്ചു. കാര്യം എന്തെന്ന് അറിയാമോ? മറ്റേ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഒക്കെ വരും. പബ്ജിയിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ കപ്പ് കടന്ന എവിടെ വെച്ച് അതിൽ ആര് ചാമ്പ്യന്മാരായ അപ്പൊ ആലോചിക്കും വേണ്ട ഫിസിക്സ് മതി. പറടാ എന്തുപറ്റി? നീ വന്നെടുത്തോളാ. ഞാൻ ലൈവ്
Moving over from that east side, you can see in the foothills of Everest, they're taking those shots up.
ഒരെണ്ണമുണ്ട്.
രണ്ടാം ദിവസം ക്രൂ റിപ്പോർട്ടിന്റെ
circle. Just wants to get out of here as safely as possible, but that might not be possible. Reverse and the nade underneath him, quick, able. Underneath, sends him sky high, and that should be another flush coming through. Wolves most likely down too.
I think Wolves are struggling in a big way. For them, this had to be top 3, but Group Green is unbelievably
ഇത് നോക്കേ ഈ പൊസിഷൻ നോക്കേ ഓജി മണ്ടക്കിരിക്കണേ ഇവന്മാര് DK താഴെയാണേ കണ്ടല്ലോ മാപ്പിൽ കണ്ട ഇനി അടുത്ത് നോക്കാം എവിടെ വെച്ചാണ് അവന്മാര് മെസ്സേജ് ഇവിടെ വെച്ചാൽ ഓജി
Again, there's no one in these buildings. GS thinks there's oversight from that position. Now I see
also message D+ avmaran OG ni noku.
There's no one there. There is no one there. This is a classic. Right?
Da kanda. First ഇടണായിരുന്നു കണ്ട അവന്മാരാണ് എന്നിട്ട് ഫൈറ്റ് കാണിക്കുമ്പോ ഇവന്മാര് നിക്കണം അവരെടുത്ത്
this wouldn't happen in tier
3
tournaments just because people would crash that
അല്ല അവന്മാർക്ക് അവിടെ സോൺ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു
there'd be no one in it and they'd be fine.
ഒരു നോക്കോലും വീഴാതെ ചുമ്മാ പുഷ് ചെയ്തു
I think Alter Ego are going to figure it out sooner or later. OG
back
and forth with D+ right now. There is a lot of knocks on side. It's all up to WizGod. Chips in a 1v1 against WizGod for OG. D+'s players are starting to fall. A pump action around the side. But it's going to come in through the window. It's Rosemary who's able to shut down that fight. And now Alter Ego, they're taking this east outbound. Goodness me. I guess.
Clear everything before they clear the west.
ഇതാണ് ഞാൻ ഇടുന്നത് കേട്ടാ വണ്ടി നടക്കുന്ന
this I think they'd prefer to have it over the western compound, but it's there for the taking.
Tony കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
If they want it they can have it. But
Tony
yeah,
boy
Alter Ego, good scouting. I mean they were playing proactive that entire time. They didn't just sit over towards Everest. They were
ഇതെന്താണ്
നെക്സ്റ്റ് മാച്ച് 4 മിനിറ്റ്
അതുവരെ ഒരു സാധനം കാണിച്ചു തരാം
ഇതിനകത്ത്
വേണ്ട കാണാമോ കണ്ടൂടാ
അത് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ എങ്ങനെ
ഇതിന്റെ അകത്ത് എന്തിനാ ഞാൻ പകുതിയെ കേട്ടോളൂ
എടാ എന്റെ എനിക്ക് ആപ്പ് സ്റ്റോറിലെ കൺട്രിയോ റീജിയൻ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യണം
അത് എളുപ്പമല്ലേ
അത് എളുപ്പമാ പക്ഷെ എന്റെ ഇതിനകത്ത് ആപ്പിൾ വാലറ്റില് 24 രൂപ കിടപ്പുണ്ട് അത് ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെ
ആദ്യം അതെല്ലാം കളയണം ഞാൻ ഇന്നാളെ ഞാൻ പിന്നെ ഒരു കൂട്ടുകാരന്റെ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി എടുത്താണ് അങ്ങനെ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തത് വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും പയ്യന്മാർ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി ഉണ്ടാ ഇല്ലേ അപ്പം മൂഞ്ചി കേട്ടാ
നിന്റെ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി
എന്റെ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡിയിൽ എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്റെ സബ്സ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട് ഞാൻ അതുകൊണ്ടല്ലേ വേറൊരു പയ്യന്റെ എടുത്തത്
അത് നമ്മള് റിമൂവ് ചെയ്ത് കളയാൻ ഒരു വഴിയില്ല
റിമൂവ് ചെയ്ത് കളഞ്ഞാലും ഒരു മാസം ഒന്നര കഴിഞ്ഞേ പറ്റുള്ളൂ ഞാൻ ചാടി കയറി റിമൂവ് ചെയ്താൽ പോകുമെന്നും പറഞ്ഞ് എൻ്റെ ആപ്പിൾ മ്യൂസിക് സബ്സ്ക്രിപ്ഷനും കളഞ്ഞ് അപ്പോഴും പറയണ പിന്നെ എന്തരൊക്കെ അതും പോയി ഇപ്പം ഇതും പോയി എന്നായി പുതിയ ഹെഡ്സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട് സത്യം പറഞ്ഞ ഹെഡ്സെറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാ ഞാൻ മറന്നു ഇന്നാൾ റൂം വൃത്തിയാക്കിയപ്പോഴാണ് കിട്ടിയത് എന്റെ ബാൻഡ് ഞാൻ കയറ്റും എന്റെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോബലിന്റെ എടുക്കണ്ട സ്ട്രീം എന്റെ ഗ്ലോബൽ ഉണ്ടാ ഞാൻ ഇടയ്ക്ക് എടുത്ത് കളഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ കയറ്റാം ഗ്ലോബൽ നമുക്ക് ലീഗിൽ എടുത്തല്ലോ ഗ്ലോബല് ഹലോ
ഗ്ലോബൽ എങ്ങനെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന എനിക്ക് പറഞ്ഞ
ഗ്ലോബല് കൺട്രി റീജിയൻ മാറ്റുക ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുക ഇയാളെ എത്ര നമ്പർ ഉണ്ട് 2 സിം ഉണ്ടാ
2 സിമ്മൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്
അപ്പൊ ഒരു സിമ്മിൽ അടുത്ത ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി തുടങ്ങി എന്നിട്ട് എനിക്കൂടെ അത് പറഞ്ഞ
പക്ഷെ ഒരു വിഷയമുണ്ട് ഈ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡിയുടെ പാസ്വേഡ് എങ്ങനെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും
അത് ഫോർഗെറ്റ് ചെയ്യും എന്നിട്ട് ഈ നമ്പറിലോട്ട് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ അയക്കാൻ പറ
അപ്പൊ എന്റെ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ പോവോ ഇല്ലല്ലോ
ഇല്ല ഇതിലുള്ളതൊക്കെ സേവ്ഡ് ഉറപ്പാണ് അല്ല ഞാൻ ഒരു കാര്യം പറയട്ടെ എന്റെ ഒരു പുതിയ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി തുടങ്ങണ്ട നമ്പർ ട്രെയിൻ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കട്ടാ എനിക്ക് OTP പറഞ്ഞു തന്നാ മതി
പുതിയപ്പോ എനിക്ക് എടുക്കണ്ടേ?
അത് ഞാൻ പാസ്വേഡ് അറിഞ്ഞാ പോരെ?
എന്നാ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം നമ്പർ.
ഓക്കെ.
ആ സിമ്മ് ഞാൻ റീചാർജ് ചെയ്തില്ല, പക്ഷെ അത് മെസ്സേജ് ഒക്കെ വരും.
OTP വരുന്ന നമ്പർ വേണം.
നീ അത് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം. ജാങ്കോ ഇത് മറ്റുള്ള സാധനം അത് ലൈവിലെ സ്പീക്കർ ഓഫ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കാൻ സെറ്റപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം. നമ്പർ ലീക്ക് ആക്കിയിരുന്നു.
ആകെ ഗോബിളി മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. എന്നാലും ചെയ്യാം. മതി.
ആർക്ക് നമ്മള് നമ്പർ കൊടുക്കുന്നതല്ല.
കണ്ട് മെസ്സേജ് ഏത്
The emotion driving me is like probably a bit of regret. We were so close, especially in the last game. We were top 1 and then we dropped down to top 3.
നമുക്ക് കൺട്രി ഏതരാ? ജർമ്മനി.
ഓസ്ട്രേലിയ.
എവിടെ ആരുണ്ട്?
അവിടെ നമുക്ക് ആളുണ്ട്.
എവിടെ ആളുണ്ട്?
ജർമ്മനിയില്.
അതിന് നമ്മളെന്താ വേണം? കൊല്ലം തന്നെ. കൊല്ലം. ഞാൻ ഇറങ്ങിപ്പോയി. ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ പക്ഷെ നിന്റെ കോൾ എടുത്തില്ലടാ. ഞാൻ അപ്പൊ നീയെന്നും പറഞ്ഞാണ് ഞാൻ അറിയാതെ 3 മണിക്ക് എന്റെ ഗേൾ ഫ്രണ്ടിനെ അങ്ങോട്ട് വിളിച്ചിട്ട് ഡാന്നൊക്കെ മെസ്സേജ് ഇട്ടേക്കണ്. എന്റെ മൈൻഡില് നീ എന്നായിരുന്നു കേട്ടാ. അതാണ് ഞാൻ രാവിലെ അടിച്ച് അപ്പം വിളിച്ചപ്പോ ഞാൻ എടുത്തത്. ഞാൻ കളിക്കാൻ കേറിയല്ലോ. പിന്നെ എന്തൊരു പറ്റി?
ഞാൻ കുറെ നേരം വിളിച്ചല്ലേ ഉറക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ ശല്യം ചെയ്യണ്ടല്ലോ. ഞാൻ പിന്നെ നിർത്തി.
ചെയ്തോണ്ടിരിക്കണ്.
ഇറങ്ങാനുള്ള
എത്ര കഴിയുമ്പോ?
55 കഴിയുമ്പോ. പരിപാടി എന്തരായി?
കഴിഞ്ഞ കളി എന്തരായിരുന്ന കണ്ടില്ലേ?
കഴിവേറി പരിപാടി എന്തരാകുന്നു? ഇത് വേണ്ടേന്ന്.
അത് ഇതാക്കട്ടെ, സെറ്റ് ചെയ്തോട്ട്. ഞാൻ പുതിയത് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാതെ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് നോക്കട്ടെ.
പിന്നെ അത് നിനക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല.
എടാ എൻ്റെ ഇത് കിടക്കണോണ്ട് അത് ഇതാക്കാൻ പറ്റൂല. അത് ആദ്യം ഇത് ലോഗൗട്ടൊക്കെ ചെയ്ത് കളയട്ട്. ആപ്പിൾ അക്കൗണ്ട് നോട്ട് ധനുഷ്. ട്രെൻഡില ഇപ്പൊ ഇത് പോയ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡിയുടെ പാസ്വേഡ് എടുക്കണോ?
അത് ഞാൻ എടുത്ത്. എന്റെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡിയുടെ പാസ്വേഡ് ഞാൻ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തു.
ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്താ?
അതൊക്കെ എനിക്കറിയാൻ കേട്ടാ.
ഞാൻ ഈ ലൈവില് നോക്കട്ടെ. ക്രിയേറ്റ് ആൻ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി. ടോണിയുടെ ആപ്പിൾ ഐഡി എന്താ ടോണി? ഗ്ലോബൽ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് തരാം, തിരിച്ചു തരാം.
ജാങ്കോ പുതിയ ആപ്പിൾ ഐ ഡി ക്രിയേറ്റ്.
എടാ ഇത് ചുമ്മാ അങ്ങനെ പറ്റൂല. ഇത് ജിമെയിൽ ഐ ഡി ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണത് പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ചെയ്തന്നെ എഴുന്നില്ല.
ആ നമ്പർ പറഞ്ഞടാ ചെയ്യടാ.
ഇല്ല ആദ്യം ആപ്പിൾ അക്കൗണ്ട് എവിടെ ഇതില്? ഇതിൽ 2 അക്കൗണ്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ പറ്റൂലേ?
ഞാൻ തന്നെ നോക്കണോ നീ?
അങ്ങനെയെങ്കിൽ നോക്കിയാൽ കൊള്ളായിരുന്നു. ഇത് ആർക്കില്ല അറിയാം ഈ 2 എണ്ണം. ആ ലോഗൗട്ട് എൻ്റെ പാസ്വേഡ് എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടെ. അറിയാം ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ കിട്ടി. വേണ്ട ഒന്നുമേ പണ്ണ വേണ്ട. ഞാൻ എല്ലാമേ പണിട്ട് ഇറക്ക്. ഒന്നുകൊണ്ടും പ്രശ്ന പണ്ണാത്. അയ്യോ ഇതിന്റെ ഇമെയിൽ ഐ ഡി എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
ഞാൻ സൈൻ ഔട്ട് ചെയ്തു. എന്റെ ഡാറ്റ എന്തേലും പോയാ ജാങ്കോ?
ആ ഡാറ്റ പോവാതിരിക്കാൻ അവരെല്ലാം കോപ്പി സേവ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് ചോദിക്കുമല്ലോ. അത് ഓക്കെ എടുക്കണം, ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോവും.
ഞാൻ ഡു നോട്ട് ഇറൈസ് ഒക്കെ കൊടുത്തേക്കുന്നു.
ഇതെന്തിനു റീസെറ്റ് ചെയ്യണ? ജോൺ ബ്രോ വെൽക്കം ടു ദ സ്ട്രീം. ഗോബ്ലിന്റെ പയ്യന്മാരോ നീ? ആപ്പിൾ അക്കൗണ്ട് യൂസ് അനദർ ആപ്പിൾ ഡിവൈസ്. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് ഹാവ് ആൻ ആപ്പിൾ ഐ ഡി. ഓക്കെ 18 or above. ഫസ്റ്റ് നെയിം ട്രെൻഡിയുടെ സൺ എന്നിട്ടാ. ട്രെൻഡ് മോനിടാൻ വെച്ചേക്കണ പേര് പറഞ്ഞാണ്. ഇപ്പോഴേ ആപ്പിൾ ഐ ഡി ഉണ്ടാക്കി വെച്ചേക്കാം. പിന്നെ എന്തൊരു മിനിറ്റ്. വിമൽ നായർ. ബർത്ത്ഡേ എന്താണ് ട്രെൻഡിയുടെ? 1800. അല്ലേ 1900.
ജീവനല്ലേ ഉണ്ട് റിവീൽ ആവശ്യമില്ല.
എടാ പറയണേ. 2000
കണ്ടോ സാധനം കണ്ടോ?
എന്നെ കണ്ടാ പറയൂലല്ലേ എത്ര പ്രായം ഉണ്ടെന്ന്.
അല്ല ഇത് കൂടുതലാണ് ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചത്. വിമൽ ഇതാണ് ഐ ഡി. വിമൽ നായർ. വിമൽ നായർ വിജയ് 07 @ ഓക്കെ. ഫോൺ നമ്പർ അതെയാ? ഓക്കെ അപ്പം നമ്പർ പറ. 999 ബാക്കി പറ.
599
ഇതെന്തിനും 999 ഉള്ള
599 6424.
59966.
എടാ
39.
എടാ 999 അടിച്ചാ നീ.
അടിച്ച് അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് 66.
എടാ 6424.
പക്ഷെ ഇമെയിൽ അഡ്രസ് ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞോണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ അതേലും കൊടുക്കട്ടെ.
ഇമെയിൽ അഡ്രസ് ആണ് എന്റെ ഒരു വേറൊരു മെയിൽ ഉണ്ട്.
എന്റെ അത് കൊടുത്തോളാം.
അതെന്തൊരു പിന്നെ പരിപാടി? അത്
പാസ്വേഡ് പറ. അല്ല ഞാൻ ഇട്ടിട്ട് അങ്ങ് പറഞ്ഞാ പോരെ.
എനിക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്തെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു കേട്ടാ.
ഇപ്പൊ സൈൻ ഔട്ട് ചെയ്തല്ലോ. ഒന്നുമില്ല പറഞ്ഞുതരാം.
നീ റീജൻ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തേക്കാ. നീ കളിയുടെ ലൈവ് ഇട്ടിട്ട് പോവേട്ടാ. ഇവിടെ എല്ലാവരും കളി കാണാതിരിക്കുക.
ഓ കളി തുടങ്ങിയ ഇപ്പൊ കാണാമോ?
ലൈവ് നോക്കിട്ട് 46 സെക്കൻഡ് ആയാ സെറ്റായാ
ഞാൻ ഇത് ചെയ്തോണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു വെയിറ്റ് ആക്കി ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം വെയിറ്റ് ആക്കും ഒറ്റ മിനിറ്റ് വെയിറ്റ് ആക്കട ഇയാൾക്ക് എന്തൊരു ആക്രാന്തം
And in we go. The third and final Erangel of today, match number 4 for Group Green. And we are going over the military base island up towards Kameshki. We'll see where our teams opt to drop. We haven't seen any hot drops on Erangel so far. Teams are playing sensibly. We'll see if this more eastern side of plane path is going to favor us. And are we going to go back to Jango? That's the question on my mind.
OTP വന്നോ JANGO?
It would be amusing to go back to Jango. I'd be okay with it.
ഞാൻ മെയിലാണ് കൊടുത്തത് എന്റെ മെയിൽ കൊടുത്തു
The 3-time reset.
അപ്പൊ ഫോൺ നമ്പർ വേണ്ടേ
Figure out what you want to do. I think at this point,
Phone number
there'll be
വേണ്ടേ?
like probably 3 teams trying to go for that compound that's just
നിന്റെ
south
മെയിലിൽ
of
പുതിയ
Everett.
ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തല്ലേ
A very different story. APG dropped down towards Sosnovka. No reason not to here, especially with the fact that the plane path is so south starting on this one. But yeah, very much off towards the east side. So a little bit more difficult. I think most players and teams would hope for an eastern shift on the circle here would make their lives much easier in the long run. For OG, it's a bit of a long drop over towards Rozok.
Yeah, that one. See if they're able to make it. Drop in short, grab some vehicles, head on out. You can see they're over, towards the west side of the Yas fields. Grab a vehicle or two. They should be okay. And we're definitely not going to the Gatka fields, Black. We're going over to the east side this time around.
Yeah, you can already see here a little bit of argy-bargy going on in terms of teams all rotating on top of one another because the spots are limited. Hello. Pistol out, see what we get done. The monster truck is coming though. One more shot, that's all it takes, and he does find it. Very nice.
It's got quite a lot of ammo in that pistol. It's looking good on the iron sights. Oh dear, it came up against the rifle. That is, that's really annoying. That's really annoying for the Falcons. Oh, he definitely overstayed on that.
Yeah, a bit overzealous. You just get in the vehicle, run him down, and then leave, right? You don't need to flush him with the pistol. I think for Narvalo, it's an unfortunate one, especially with Narvalo being one of the best players on that squad in terms of gun skill. I think that they desperately do need that. Koa in the past was so incredibly strong, really made a name for himself, but I think has been slightly less explosive in terms of performance recently. I'm still waiting for him to break back onto the scene.
Yes,
number
resurgence in his future.
999.
Easier said than
done.
Let's take a look at some of the data. APG, they definitely have stepped back up, right? The desk were talking about it. We've been talking about it. Mongolian front top of the tables, kind of where we expected them to be. Genji managed to take 2 players down from the guns. At least on 1 player standing now for Go. And they are not situation to find yourself in.
999.
599 6424.
6424.
Aggressive start, honestly, all things considered for an international format. Already 4 players down, 3 minutes into the match is quite ridiculous, but Go's definitely mostly on the receiving end of this. Only Varanik left remaining for the squad.
69 75
25 Okay.
If he moves over towards the fields.
Yes. Varna.
Unfortunate for GOAT that they were the ones.
Pavaniന്റെ അടുത്ത് ട്രെൻറ്റിനെ പറ്റിയൊക്കെ സംസാരിക്കാൻ.
Just try and trot on with just the one player now. More matches to play, more games to be had.
ആയിരിക്കാണ് iOS or Android?
Very, very quiet so far. You said in that last match, it wasn't looking good for them. We'll see if they can change the tune from Milton now. Maybe it's just that they don't favor those Gatka rotates, right?
Critical compounds that can be taken. So if you frustrated with at the moment is probably Papara Supermassive getting practically 0 points since Rondo at the start of the day. Which just confused me. I genuinely do think this is a good team. So far, it's been really lackluster. And they're a strong team when it comes to sweeping, but I think they keep getting themselves into some bad scenarios. Now,
Tony 9-2
hope that things would get better tomorrow for them, but it's a lot of homework needs to be done between now and then. But I think that that's almost not inexcusable, but the fact that we saw 2 games back to back where it was pretty much the same circle, there was some very clear teams who had learned their lesson from the previous game. I mean, Wolves immediately took it upon themselves to pick up the only compound that was free the entire time that no one went to. I think that was a great decision to make, and it got them far into the game. But again, it shows that on-the-fly changes can be made during the day, and we just haven't seen that from Proper Supermassive, which I think is required a level of gameplay like this. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Not that Turkey needs more contestants into the grand finals.
Oh dear. Snapped away 2 of those spots. Pretty well. Global stage, and that you can't say much fairer than that. I think it's been interesting to see what they've been able to do. Both Kara and Ulf already taking strides out towards those finals from the global stage. Maybe we'll see another team join them. I mean, you'd hope, this is going a bit into the future now, but you'd hope that Regnum Kai also are going to be able to find one of those spots and really make that global lobby complete, really, with Silas's presence.
I'm definitely unsure about it though at this point in time. I'm definitely unsure about Regnum Kai. I think in the past it would be the case coming into this international. I was like, oh, Regnum Kai is definitely going to be going through to the grand finals. I was fairly confident in that. Not so much anymore. I actually have my doubts, which is sad as well, because I really do like Regnum Kai as a team. I think Zedwolf's a great addition, and when I saw him get added to the team, sort of for me it was a case of that's insane, like that's just become a god roster, but it's not the case.
No, it wasn't quite. I mean, they did very well, obviously, in the region, and obviously with Zedwolf just coming into the roster, it was a little bit rocky, a little bit of a difficult road that they trod in order to get to the victory, right? The entirety of the PMSL that they qualified through. But here, it seems like that process has sort of had to happen again, and hopefully it's happened in short order. APG, they were able to turn it around massively, right, from the group stages, and maybe the similar sort of thing could happen here.
We don't. Let's not talk about APG.
Well, they did pretty badly in the gauntlet.
That's better. Okay. I think we just get the catch. We can't talk about them.
Don't want to. Yeah, it's just so bad right now. Like, just
so
bad.
Don't
even know what they're doing. It's just awful.
Yeah, it's just really not good. The same. It's the only way. It's the only way to get them to do well. All right, you're lay into them, and they can take it.
Ooh,
try to respect.
Circle's laying into the lobby right now, heading all the way out to the east side. Lepovka Circle, very rare. We'll see who's going to be able to crunch in over that mansion area. A lot of buildings is surrounded by open ground in this zone. And then up to Lepovka, that hill that sits to the west of it. Could potentially be a little bit of respite. Wolves, they're kind of at the back of the queue right now, embroiled with OG and absolutely no one else who we definitely won't talk about.
Absolutely. And those who shall not be named are currently in front of the Wolves. So very similar rivalry to previous Erangel there. But To be honest, like, I think APG does look like a very different beast this time around. And I'm very pleased by it. And again, I think Doc's taken it upon himself. It's rough. Doc has definitely taken it upon himself to be more of the front man for the squad, but still playing in tune with the rest of the band here, which there's not really many.
Yeah, it's
Naya to make a split off from the rescue team to
a little bit. They tried to crash over the hill into Lipovka. The Falcons now join them. Obviously, we know they lost a player earlier on, but the teams have managed to consolidate themselves to the east side. It has been a bit of a mad dash, except for Go. I think they're still on a bit of a wide rotate Blank.
Well, he's on a bit of a wide rotate, yeah. For Alter Ego, they have one of the most insane positions on the map right now. I really love this little patch of high ground that they play. In the past, it's brought a lot of separate teams big victories, and I think that a team that starts in Lipovka, you could see how much this position is favored because the circle is centered on Lipovka. You don't want to play there. That's like the survival area of the map. It is also a case where this is a worrying amount of water in the circle right now. It's almost 50%.
Yeah, it's it is maybe time for the armbands for one or two players, you'd imagine. Ooh, a bit of trouble on the north side for Inner Circle as they're trying to move in on the north, but they're fairly isolated. They should be okay. You can see the next circle will be popping soon. That is 9Z. Yet to fully transition away from Yasnaya. They will have to, though. The two games go under the belt, and a lot of those points for Inner Circle specifically were earned in one match. The same.
Actually, decent. It's a small ditch that they're playing in. It's not like incredibly insane.
The same. A lot of them. A lot of them. A lot of them. A lot of them. We'll see
PG's way, but they have had a few of them. But the thing is that they are translating every single time on those circles, where they're currently at 48 points. Now, if they're able to get another big game here, like, goodness me, you're like stamping a ticket almost at this point in time with 48 points. Duke's highlighted it perfectly. It's a 16-point average, which is unheard of.
It is pretty crazy, but it is a small sample size, and we've seen back-to-back chicken dinners and things like that happen before, and it is always in these 3-day sets about transitioning to the next days. They've had a great success in today's games, but we've seen bigger than 48, and granted, they still do have half the day to play, but it's not something you can rely on. It's not enough just yet. Nades exchange now on the cliffs between Falcons playing as 3 and OG playing as 2. Falcons with Ralph all the way as a backstop. That's a big nade. Blast the card of the sky and AKOP with it. WizGod now the last player to stand. And that's flushed up. That's stolen away, that point. That's nasty. As he's going to send on over. Oh, and another shot down over towards OG. They go down 16th place. No elims.
Yeah, nice with APG. Picked up both of them. Falcon's pretty frustrated about that. Had to expend a load of utilities to make that one happen. And yet get both elim stolen. So up to 50 points now. I think the record was like 83, 82 from Kara on day 2 of Gauntlet.
It might have been that. I was thinking about Thunder Talk in day 1 as well, which could have been potential.
I think Kara's is higher, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But still, APG's on track right now to beat that. Now,
well, if they can keep up 16 points a game, sure.
The funny thing is, if they continue on this trajectory, they actually hit 100 points in one day. Like, unironically as well.
That would be insane. 16 points a match times 6? Really? I don't think that's. I mean, that's just shy.
We're on 50 points right now.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, that's true. But some of the points have come from this game. 2 of them. So technically, they are just shy in terms of the average points per game. We'll see what more they can do here.
Okay, this is circle.
They're in the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's a big circle.
I guess it's not too bad. Yeah, I guess it's not too much circle look because you are in the center anyway. So this is technically the circle you're hoping for. So this is a weird one where it's like, did they just play this correctly? Or I would say it's just played it correctly because I think circle look would be shifted over towards Icy's compound on the northwest side. For this, it's just like, well, they have played the circle.